Hello, today I wanted to talk about the Hobonichi Cousin, how I've been liking it. I've been using it for several months now, and I wanted to do sort of a setup plan with me for my 2017 Avec. It's not going to be a plan with me with like the stickers and how people do, a spread with all kinds of stuff. It's going to be, I'll just show you how I plan, and some people like that, and some people might find it helpful. I personally love just putting on planner videos where people talk about all kinds of things and then go about my day, and if something catches my ear, I look over and watch, so maybe it'll be a video like that for you. First thing I wanted to talk about was the pen that comes with the Hobonichi. I love this pen, and it's no surprise because I already had one in black that I had for years, and I think I've replaced this a couple of times. In fact, now that I look at it, I don't know why I don't put the black in here, but definitely with this bright blue, it's very easy to keep track of. A couple of people have picked it up and used it. They comment on how much they like it, which of course they would. Why wouldn't you like a Unijet Stream? And but I'm sure to get it back because it is such a bright color. I kind of have the camera set to not focus on super fine detail, just because when I do a flip through of my planner, I didn't cover anything up, and it is my planner, so there's all kinds of stuff written in there. I don't even remember everything that's written in there, so who knows what you might see. So as far as the planner goes, I love this planner. I have used it ever since I received it from a viewer. I got the second half of her Avec Cousin, and it meets all of my needs. There's been a few times, of course, where I've been tempted by other things when I watch YouTube videos. Excuse me, let me get a drink of tea here. It's really early in the morning, but it's quiet, and so I thought this was a good time to do this. There's been a few that I've looked at that I'm like, oh, I really want that. Actually, mostly I've looked at the Hobonichi and the A6 and the Weeks that I thought I've wanted, but I don't think I need them. I really don't. And I don't want to create a reason to have more than I need. I think I said that the right way. Because I already do that in some other areas of my life, and I just think this is a nice place to keep it simple. I know everything is in this book. A few times, this book has become cumbersome. It's not light, it's kind of heavy, it's kind of big. I've thought about separating out work and personal and having a personal planner that I carry around with me all the time, and then having a work planner that I just carry with me to work. And I've thought, but what I've liked is having everything in one book. So then I thought, okay, well, then I'll have to just copy whatever's in the personal into the work so I see both. I don't know. I think I might just stick with this for now and see how it goes. You never know, but so far it's been working really well. When I started using it and I realized I liked it, I went ahead and bought a cover for it. And so I have the cover in the black and pistachio, I think was what it was. And the green on here doesn't really show up the same as the green does in real life. It's much more vibrant. I have a clear cover on cover, and then I have one that's like a floral polka dot cover on cover that I had for several months on the cover. I said cover a lot. That I had for several months on here, and I really like it. But another thing that I realized is sometimes just my urge to switch planners comes from the fact that maybe I just need a new cover, and I had seen the vegan organizer talking about this, and when I was watching the video where she was talking about it, I had been thinking about that myself, like just a couple days earlier, because what I started to do, I put the clear cover on, and then I've started to take note cards that I have that I like and just put them on here. So this is like the 4th or 5th one I've had, so it just gives me something different to look at. And so it's also kind of fun because now I can look at like really nice note cards where maybe I will only buy one to put in here. So that's a whole lot cheaper than buying a brand new planner, and then I don't have to figure out where to put all this extra stuff to store, because I still do have two two classics, which are large Franklin Covey planners, ring planners. I have a Marion Smith A5. I have a small Recollections planner. As I look back, and I have a Doki book, Disc Agenda. I have all these binder planners, and I should have just known. I mean, I've used a planner for a really long time, and I've always liked a bound planner. It could be bound with a spiral, it could be bound like a book, like this one, and I've just always preferred them. Watching all of these planner videos, I had to try different ringed planners because I think I needed to get it out of my system. But I know that I'm a bound planner person. Just talking about this with my husband the other day. I'm still going to keep those ringed planners. I like the ones that I have, but just in case I have the urge to go to a ringed planner, I don't want to feel like I need to buy something again. I have some that I can go back and use. But if they stay on my shelf for more than like a year, I'm going to sell them, I think, or get rid of them or something, because I have a really small house and I just don't have the room. So, without further ado, so this is what it looks like. It's been holding up great. I literally bring this in my bag every single day. Like I said, it's a little bulky. It adds a little weight to it, but I do have so much information in here that I find it valuable to have with me throughout the day. And then I have a place, to take notes where I know my notes will all be in one spot. I always carry around a little notebook in my purse, always, but this I carry around most of the time. I would say 90% of the time. If I'm going out to dinner or something, I'm going to take this out of my bag. But I'll always have a little notepad. But for the most part, when I'm running errands day to day, I do usually take this with me because it has so much information in it that I need. So, love the cover. In here, I keep it very simple because I do carry it with me, and I don't want it to be heavy. But in here, I have these little dog tabs. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I've talked about them before, and you can get them from the Hobonichi website. I've used several and given a few away, but I just keep them here because I really don't know where else to put them. And in this notebook that I slid in here, I've just been keeping notes of things that I want to just have from year to year. And so I have like the information in here for my when I do direct deposit for my bank on my phone, you have to write a certain thing on the back of the check. So I have that in here just so that I can remember what that language was. Or I think I said sub information for when I call in for a sub. I recently took a CPR course at school, a new CPR course, and I hadn't done that for like 10 years. You should definitely do it. I learned a lot, and I took my notes for that in here too. And so just anything that I want to have from year to year that I don't want to recopy, I've put in there. And that's it. That's what I have slid in that side. In the back, I have my pencil board, and that's it. And so I use the pencil board. I don't use it as much as I would like to, but the paper is really good, so that's helpful. But it does create a nice flat surface. So like if I sit down and I'm thinking about, I'm going to do like a lot of planning, I'll typically use this. But I have it here in case I need it. I think it was a few bucks on the Hobonichi website. But, yeah. And then the back, with the clear cover, you actually have the Ziploc pouch kind of opening so that you can get to that back pocket, and I've never used the back pocket. So, okay. In the Hobonichi, let me just kind of skip. I know I have a few things written down. So, this may be too much information, but you're going to see it. It's in my planner because this is a working functional planner. So in this section, the month section, I've been keeping track of my cycle and various things that has to do with that. And occasionally like something that has to do with my dogs. But I'm working out how to use the different parts of this, and so in doing that, I kind of know what I want to do going forward into 2017. Then, before I had been doing this, because I found I was keeping track of this on the days, and then on the months, or was it the months? Wherever I was keeping track of it, it was way too difficult when I would go to a doctor's appointment to find the information quickly. And I have it on my phone, but it's so much easier when you look at it like this on paper, and so it's a nice visual. And so I started doing it on the monthly calendars, and this has worked very well, so I'm going to continue to do this. And what I've decided was, for any kind of future planning, forward planning, because excuse me, in the AVEC you only have half a year, and I need to actually look at the AVEC a little more and see what they give you. But I want to make sure that I have space for this and any notes I need to make, and so like I had notes here. So what I think I'm going to do is any future forward planning, I'm going to put in these boxes up here because I didn't even use those. So there's like a whole section up at the top that has check boxes. So things like, you know, people's birthdays, anniversaries, reminders of things, those kinds of things, I'm going to put either way up at the top, or I'm going to put them at the bottom, in this bottom section, depending on what the new AVEC looks like. I haven't really looked at it for quite a while, but I do want to save these dates here for what I'm already using it for. In the monthlies, so I started using it in September. So what I've done in the monthlies is, this has been the place where I have tracked like recurring things that I always need to remember, like take out the trash and pick up our farm box that we get. I always have, I shouldn't say always, I have been putting on here any kind of work related events. So at the beginning of our cycle, we call it, which is like our school year, we will get a calendar with all the dates of all the field trips, all of the after school activities, and all of the weekend activities. And then I have just gone and immediately written them on the monthly spread calendar. I don't know if that's going to work for the new AVEC, because I don't know how many months. They only give you half of the months, but actually I think it will work out because our cycle goes from January to June, and the AVEC will go from January to June, I think. So that's perfect. It's like I have one school cycle in one book. I didn't realize that until now. So I was keeping track of my cycle in here, and that just really wasn't working very well. So any kind of events that I need to remember, so I'll put it on the yearly calendar until I have a monthly spread that I can write it into. And I know on my, I hope I'm making sense. I know on this yearly calendar, like I have things for July. So I'm going to keep those on here, but all of these June events will get written onto the monthly calendars now in my new one. Am I making sense? I hope so. So yeah, that's what I've been keeping track of in here, and it gets less and less because we have fewer and fewer events towards the end. And I had already done some forward planning in here for the months that they had listed, so I'll have to add those to the new one. Then I had a bunch of free pages at the beginning because I didn't get the planner until September. And so I just used these pages for various things. I used them for grocery lists, and I used them for pen tests, for videos. And so there's just random things written. I was trying not to, what's the word? Waste the papers. It's early, so I'm searching for words. I think you can hear it in my voice. It's kind of gravelly. So yeah, I just used the front section for notes and that kind of thing. So on September 9th was the first day I think I started using this, and you've seen this if you've seen my videos before, what has ended up happening. And I'm just going to kind of do like a quick flip through so that you can get an idea. what has ended up happening is I have been able to use this for my lesson plans for school, for the 2 different classes I teach, as well as my own personal planner. And it has worked out great. So, like here, all this stuff that's on here, it's been fantastic. And I'm finding that, look at that, like a huge, I just find that everything fits on here. There were a couple days where I was like, oh my gosh, I might need more room. But, like, look at this checklist of all the things that I had to get done, which it looks like I did get all of them done except a few I migrated. I mean, I'm able to fit a ton of stuff on here. And here's an example of when I write in the lines with the boxes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't worry about it too much because it's my planner and it's going to look how it's going to look. And sometimes it's just a matter of picking up a pen and writing in there because I don't have time to make it look, you know, neat or pretty. But I'm just kind of showing you that this is what a functional planner for me looks like. So, this is today. This is what I have to do today. And some notes that I took on some medications that I have. And this has been working out really well. We're getting towards the end. I use the square bookmark to mark the month. I use the point to mark the day. I also have one of these little dog tabs to mark the day, and I've had a little dog tab to mark the yearly spread where I'm keeping track of my cycle. And so then we just go to the end, and I've made some notes here that I'll need to transfer over. And I don't think I used these note pages so much because I used a lot, you know, in those unused months. And then, of course, you have the ending part, which I didn't use the part in Japanese. And that's it. That's how it's been working. And so actually what I think I'm going to do is, actually, no, I'll do it right now. I was going to say I'll stop the video, but if you've watched my videos, you know how it's going to be. So that was an overview of 2016, how it's been working, how I've liked it, and I have really, really enjoyed it. I still have these little pages that Brenda sent me, and I've been using them in different ways. I think it was this one. Yeah. I've been using them in different ways, but I'm still finding that this is just a little too tiny, but gosh, it seems like it would be so much fun to have in your hands. So let's quickly look at the avec for 2017, or the cousin, the avec. So I've got a 2017, 16, and 18 calendar. This is the yearly spread where I'll do cycle and any future planning that won't fit in this planner. And they give you the entire year, I believe. Yes, all the way through December. So this is for all your forward planning needs, and I'm going to either put mine up in the top or in the bottom. Then they give you the month calendar, and they give you December of 2016 through July. So that will be perfect for me for a school cycle. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but you know how much I love the paper. I think I mentioned that. But as you could see as I went through, I had all different kinds of pens and pencils and markers in there. Everything. It worked with everything, even fountain pens. So this section I will use to put in school events, or if I schedule an appointment or something like that with the doctor, I always write those kinds of things here. So forward planning that I can do will go here, and if it's beyond July, it will go at the bottom or the top of those yearlies. The thing that's different in the avec this year is that I'm going to have weekly calendars. And so I've been thinking about how I'm going to use this, because you'll notice that it has the 3 check boxes, and then it has from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. On here. And I typically don't have like that much to do as far as like a timed appointment. I have a very set schedule with school. So I've been thinking about what I want to do in here. And this is just a thought, but we'll see how it pans out. I may not even use these at all. So I have these two books, Just One Thing by Rick Hansen and the United States Constitution, what it says, what it means. And so what I've been doing is, the way that this book is set up is, it's like it's got like 52 things in it. And so it's set up to be like for a year. And I've already started reading it, and it's very short. Each part is very short. And our boss gave this to us for Christmas along with another thing, because we work with such traumatized people. All of our students are horribly traumatized. And he said, we suffer secondary trauma because of that. And it's true, it's incredibly stressful. And so he is often talking about self-care, and he got us this. And I thought, okay, well, I can definitely read just a few pages for 1 week. And so I talked to my husband, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that with you. And so I think we're going to do one thing per week. And each day or every other day I try to reread the section, because it's very short, maybe like 3 or 4 pages. And I was thinking it would be nice to kind of like maybe just write down something that I either thought about that, or something that stood out to me from that section, or something that I did in my real life to apply that. And so I think I might do that here in the weekly section, where I just make a note of that, because I'm going to do one of those things a week. And that would take up a whole year, although I've already done the first one. So I'm going to see how that goes. I think I might do that here. And then I also, and there's my little doggy book marker, I also got this because I just would like to be much more familiar with what the Constitution says. There's no other reason for that. And this is actually really cool. It has each section of the Constitution, and then it's explained. And this is put out by justicelearning.org and the New York Times, the Annenberg Foundation Trust at Sunnylands. It seemed fairly nonpartisan. But I thought it would be great to have a copy of the Constitution, so I know my rights, and then an interpretation. The interpretation helps because it gives a little bit of history about how that came about, or how that's been used, or like any kind of Supreme Court decisions around that. So it's actually really informative. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take one of the sections from this and one from that each week and just kind of study them and read them over and over to internalize them and learn them. I kind of went ahead on the Constitution, but I will definitely back up and do that. And so I think any kind of notes I wanted to take might go in here. That was what I thought I could use for that. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do in here. So they give you weeklies through the end of June. And then there's a couple of pages. Just turning the page to a new year. There's like maybe a table of contents. It says remember this, so I think this would be a place where you could mark like important dates, and if there was content on that date that you wanted to remember so you could reference later. Maybe you took notes at a doctor's appointment or something, you could put that here and then give yourself a title, kind of like a bullet journal. Except the pages aren't numbered, but you could certainly do it by date. And then you have the spread for the day, which looks pretty much the same to me. And I know it will work because I can put my lesson plans, I can put my personal to-dos, and yeah. So then it goes all the way through the end of June 30th. And then you've got some blank pages at the back, just a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a timetable, graph paper, gifts, list, favorites on my 100 list, and then the information on various things about Japanese culture. And remember this, address this for 4 people, and the end. So I'm just going to fill this up with what I have right now while you're here, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go back to the beginning And I'm going to look at my old planner because actually I'm going to start using this planner next week, and so this is a good time to get it done and ready to go. So, when I look at my forward planner, I see I have something in April, so I'm going to actually, let's take care of the appointments here. So I will use my trusty Unijet stream, and what is not going to fit, actually I think there was a calendar all the way to July. I think everything I have written on here will fit. I don't need to use these forward planning ones at all. So, let's see. I have on April already. So, you know, what I like about this is you only have to carry around half a year, but you do have the capability to keep track of everything for the entire year by date, you know, with that yearly calendar at the beginning. So, on the 15th, actually, I don't think I want to use the uni. I want to use my, my Energels, because I love these. Oops. So, let's do purple, because purple is my favorite color. Okay, so, Dad's birthday, and the 27th is my birthday. And then we have on the next page, the 5th, I've got an anniversary for my brother and my birthday, my sister-in-law's birthday. Okay, the next month I have my friend's birthday. I have another friend's birthday. And I need to do this in a different color just for fun. Charge two-way radios. So it's just for fun, right? I don't have like a color coding system or anything like that. Okay, dry off, because I've noticed these are a little bit inky. They don't dry as quickly on the paper. I don't know that you can see that, but I saw it came off on my hands a little bit. So I'm going to go to July, and notice it doesn't even really show through at all. So, let's do this one in green. We need to, on the 1st, turn off McAfee auto renewal. You know those computer things that renew on their own and then charge you like $100? No. Renew golden. That's a question we have to ask ourselves. And this is the date that it renews. So those are the kinds of things I put right on my forward planning calendar. Oh, when I do see that I did need to write something on future planning because it's from May 29th or May of 2019. So these are just a little bit wet still. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab a tissue. I'm going to lay it on the middle of that page. And maybe I will use the... See, this is why the Unijet stream is perfect, because you don't have that issue. You don't have the issue and need a tissue. Okay. So I'm going to add this here. May of 2019. All dogs need parvo, distemper, rabies shots. All dogs need parvo, distemper, rabies shots. Okay, so that was everything I had in that section. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to December, because I am going to start using it next week. I think we're pretty dry. Maybe I'll have to stop using these pen towels. They're a little juicy. I mean, they really are. Okay, back to, actually, let me see. What do I have going on here? Okay, so I do want to write appointments on here, just because if I am making like a doctor's appointment or something, I have an overview I can look at for the month. Whereas if I'm trying to write it on a daily page, it takes me a while to flip to that day. So this is much more convenient. And actually, I think I am going to use my my uni Jetstream, so we don't have to wait for it to dry. I know this would drive some people crazy because, you know, they like it to be uniform and the same. It doesn't drive me crazy at all. I love all the pens. Okay, let's use blue. So, for December, so I'm going to kind of flip around here. Let's take care of December 1st. Not December 1st, but let's take care of December before other things. And I'm just going to write them in the actual... Oh no, this does start on January 1st. I think I was thrown off because it starts... The weekly starts. Okay. Okay. So, I guess I am going to copy over what is here for January, but I'm going to keep using this planner until the end because I won't have daily pages until the end. That makes sense to me now. I was like, wow, I can't believe they give you all this. Okay, back to business. Okay, so some things that I need to get done in January are read the retirement info that I need to read through while I'm off, and I am going to go through my clothes and just get rid of things that I don't need anymore. On the 7th, there is a shooting match that my husband will be in. Let's see, 10:15. I have an eye appointment. We have a work meeting. Before we go back to school to kind of meet and work. And my husband has an eye appointment. My dogs need their medicine. And I need to schedule dog dental cleaning for February. So the great thing about this pen is it fits. I mean, everything fits because it's so fine tipped. Okay. I need to renew our prescription here. Okay, my brother's birthday. Another shooting match. And so what I'll go through and do is I will finish writing out all of that stuff. Or all the things I know that are going to happen, like trash, the farm box, any shooting matches. Okay, my husband has a dentist appointment. Then I have a dentist appointment. Ugh, I'm not looking forward to that. 2 crowns. Apparently, in between my back teeth, they're like cracking in between. Terrible. And it's painful. But I have to wait till February to get it fixed. Because my dentist is awesome, and everybody knows it. Okay. So just filling in some dates that I know. And I'm sure that everybody does this, right? Okay, and then the last thing it looks like I need to write down is some more dental appointments all the way in June. 6, 8. So, I think that's it. So, my planner is set up for January. Clearly you can see that this is very functional. So my next step would then be as the 1st of January approaches, so that would be more next week. I was thrown off by the weeklies in here because, as you can see, the weeklies start in December. But as January approaches next week, I will then take, because I usually do this on the weekends, I'll sit down and do like a weekly or a monthly, the beginning of the month on the weekend. I don't even know if I'm making sense. I will take what's on the monthly calendar and put it on the dailies. And so I will probably do that next week. So I'll go back to January and see what is on here. Just write these simply on, actually I could just do that right now because I'm just sitting here babbling. This video is already very long and you're probably doing dishes or something like that. So let's see. On this, I will just write what is already on the calendar. And I'll only do this for like a month at a time, just because then I have a better overview of my month, you know, closer to that time. So I'll plan in the future, I'll plan for the future in the monthly calendars, and then each month I will write them on the dailies along with anything else I need to fill in. Okay, and so that. And let's see, on here. So if it's a to-do, I'll generally put it up at the top there. And then 23rd. Oh, I hate that. Okay, and so the last thing actually that I should do, since I'm already just doing the stuff for January, I need to remind myself to go back and write in all my trash days and on my farm box days, which are Wednesday, which is nice that it's all on the same day. But that'll be the last thing I'll go back through, and I'll write it up here, the tasks that I need to do. So, and then I'll go back through and do that for the year, but I won't do that with you on here. So I'm going to just put my reminders for that. And, you know, I find that with this, since it fits everything, if I put everything in here, I'll know where it is. It's just a matter of flipping through the days, like if I take notes on a phone conversation or something. I really would recommend this planner. And it's been great. You know, if one of your goals is to keep yourself organized, truly this planner has everything. It has a year, a month, a week, and a daily. And I don't know that I've seen that in other planners before. Yep. So I have all of my January dailies done. Not a whole lot yet because I'm still in the previous year. I have all of my forward planning done and all of my appointments written in, so I'm not going to lose any of those throughout the year. And when the time comes, January 1st, to put this booklet into my cover, it's going to be ready to go. And I can be confident that I have kept everything organized and accounted for. So I hope that you found this video entertaining or useful or helpful, or maybe it was just great background noise rather, to fall asleep to or do your dishes to. I find that I do that a lot with YouTube videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.